Yeah. Well, hopefully you beat Anna Kremlin one day too. Okay, Hammer, show us the game.
Yeah, so
We're watching.
a couple of things I want to point out. So pawn a5 is a huge mistake.
Oh, dude, I was so proud because Dina taught me the crab. I don't know if you know what the crab is, but I was gonna go like this to her because I thought it was really good and I was playing positional chess like the grandmasters.
Yeah, so
But I had no theory and I had no idea what I was doing.
how do you not know this? This is like the main line of your main opening with the black pieces.
Well, this is the Maroxy bind, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I only know Maroxy bind f3, not with bishop e2. Did you prepare
No,
bishop e2?
it's the same. You're supposed to provoke f3 by moving your bishop to c6. White doesn't play f3 voluntarily. You have to actually make them do it.
Gotcha. Sorry, I asked my opponent a question, but you couldn't hear it. Did you prepare this against my...
I asked my friend. He wants to do a lot.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, no.
Like, he told me so he told me exactly that you would play this.
And he was right. But the funny thing is I haven't played this opening in like a single tournament in the last two that I played, and it's been many years since, almost a year since I've played Maroxy, since I played the Hype Accelerated Dragon. But I wasn't expecting you to do this, so I didn't prepare.
Okay.
I got prepped.
Well, for learning for the next time, Andrea. So what we discovered is that after a5, computer really likes knight to b5. And what's good about this move is that you are suffering from a lack of space. White has really good control in the center, and you don't have that many good squares for your pieces. So you're kind of reliant on making a lot of trades in order to get some space for your pieces, or rather having fewer pieces that are in need of good placements. And by playing knight to b5, this knight cannot be chased away by the pawn because you moved your pawn past the pressure square on a6. And basically the plan for black here is to take on d4, go bishop d7, bishop c6, and then a5. But the order in which you do these things do matter a great deal. Because if you go for the trade immediately and don't go a5 afterwards, then white sometimes has a b4 that's pretty good, because when you put your bishop to point here, b5 can be annoying to push the bishop back.
Gotcha.
And that's why the way you're supposed to play, I think, based on partly what the computer is saying, is that you make the trade in the center, then you go a5, and then you go with the bishop to c6. And the position you're looking for is this kind of thing. And then you go knight
I didn't like this.
up here.
I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to play theory.
But it's theory for a reason, though, right? I mean, if you don't play theory, you get a terrible position.
Yeah, but I wanted to take him out of the book, and you could say
the book.
Surprised. You could say my non-theory approach worked. Well, okay, I got a draw, so not succeeded, but it's been like a year since I played this line.
But this is the same thing you did the last black game, Andrea. You invented your own plans, and you were like, I'm just going to do my own thing, and I'm not going to trust the number of grandmasters that have played this opening in the past.
One day I will be right. I will continue to invent new theory until one day I create something novel.
You have created something novel. It's just novel and bad.
I don't know. It's working most of the time. I think I have like a 70%.
You were dead lost after 15 moves. Computer was giving plus 2.5.
I was crushing. Okay, show me where I was lost. Because I thought I was crushing.
Okay,
well,
so another
crushing.
thing that I wanted to point out. So, of course, you should have traded the knights at pretty much any possibility you had. And
Yes,
every
I
time
knew
you
that was
didn't
the point,
trade,
so I
he
guess I
had knight to
didn't do it.
b5, which would have been powerful.
Okay, so both of us, but knight to b5 doesn't look like it does. Okay, I mean, yeah, I guess I understand, but it's a computer move. Like, it doesn't make your knight's not going anywhere, and you're opening the diagonal. But I guess what
But
your
I'm
bishop,
explaining
like,
the logic to you. I'm saying that you're cramped. You don't have a lot of squares for your pieces. You need the c6 square for your bishop. You need the d7 square for your knight. And in order for all of this to happen, you need to make the trade, because otherwise your knight is just in the path of all your other pieces.
I see. I didn't hear you the first time you explained it because it's really loud in here.
Yeah.
I see now.
Okay.
I didn't hear you. Okay. Okay, continue. Show me where I'm
Actually,
losing.
and this is interesting. Rook c1 was a big mistake by him, because now you had a tactic with knight takes d4.
Knight takes. Oh.
And then you have bishop h6 attacking the rook. And if the rook moves, you can go e5, and you get this pawn structure. And he gets the doubled pawns.
Yeah, I thought of this move, but too late. Oh man.
So
Yeah,
that's like
okay,
an interesting idea when white puts the rook on c1 in these positions.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think usually you want to bring your queen first, but who am I to know? Like queen c2 first?
Yeah, often
or
queen d2 is played.
Queen b2, queen b2.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, man, I thought of that idea. Wait, what did I was just so excited about the crab.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what the crab is?
Yeah, I'm not
Did
super
Gina tell you
familiar.
about the crab?
Yeah, not super familiar. Also, I wanted to
gave
point
me a
out
test.
here a3. A3, I think, also is a very instructional mistake.
Dina would argue otherwise. She told me to create hooks and go for the crab. And it almost worked.
I think maybe Dina, you misunderstood Dina, but let me tell you the logic why I think a3 is a mistake. So basically, in these variations, very often you try to maneuver your knight from f6 to the c5 square.
Yeah, I knew that plan, but I chose to go for a different one.
Sure,
I didn't
sure.
want to play the
But
classical way. I wanted to have fun.
sure, but if you revert to that plan in the future, what happens when you play a3 is that your opponent, at some point, if you go into a more standard way of playing, your opponent is now going to be able to go b4 and control that c5 square, making sure that you cannot use it. This is not possible.
Beginning of the game,
No, but this is not possible in the same way.
I didn't want to play classical.
This is not possible in the same way when the pawn is on a4, because then if you make the trade and play this traditional way, white can play b4 to try and take control of the c5 square, but anytime that happens, you can make the trade, opening up for your rook along the edge of the board, and then this is okay for black. You can even go queen a5 and control the b4 square so that you can go knight c5 later.
But knight c5 wasn't my plan. I wanted to do something different.
Okay.
I didn't want to go for this
So
plan.
let's see
Oh.
what you did different. Okay. So you did your own thing. And now bishop b1, I got to say this, I really like this plan, Gudmundur.
Yeah, this was good. This was very nice.
It was very nice.
Good job. You got a compliment from Grandmaster Hammer.
Because you're making your bishop pretty bad, but the bishop is bad so that all the other pieces can be good. This bishop is protecting the two biggest weaknesses in white's position.
Yeah, that was nice.
But it allows then all the other pieces to be good.
Okay.
And now after knight to h5, white had the opportunity to move in on the square that you left with knight d5.
And I was going to go queen d8.
Yeah. And computer gives plus 2.5 here.
Yeah, but computers often wrong. They don't understand theory these days.
Yeah. Well, let's just say that white is very well centralized with their pieces.
Yeah, okay, I can see why this position is bad, but I don't know. I feel like a pleb like me or a fellow 2000 skilled opponent wouldn't be able to capitalize on it the same way the computer would. So that's why I keep doing my own stuff, because I don't believe in the computer's evaluation. But you have a point. You've got a point. You've got points.
Sure. Okay, but after queen d2, you're already okay. The trade is good. Queen over. Nice pressure against the king. And here it's already just very uncomfortable for him.
Oh, God. Okay.
Rook c5 was excellent.
Yeah. Okay, and my question here, I didn't take on h3 because and I thought taking with either the knight or the bishop was bad after rook e3. I don't know if queen h6 was correct.
Queen h6 is completely winning. Only winning move.
Okay. Okay, so then where... Oh, God, it's probably because I sacked my stupid rook. Where did I throw?
Oh, I mean, when your opponent has a rook on the 7th, maybe not open the 7th?
Yes, I was supposed to just keep it closed, right? I just wasn't supposed to trade anything and just defend. Okay, so go queen h6.
No, here you played perfectly. You even got a double exclam on the rook sack.
Wow. Wait, so this was good?
Yeah, no, you're completely winning.
So then where was...
Well, I mean, here you could take the pawn, give your bishop, and get a new queen.
Oh.
That's one way.
Oh, man.
That's maybe the easiest.
I could have had two queens.
But also,